Good morning, Bush. Hello, SDS. What a month it's been. But oh no, we're dipping. I'm just assuming, oh no, Bitcoin is down. It's crashing down to $124,000. Is it over? I'm ready for it. Good morning, Rob. Ethereum's blowing up. Ethereum looks good. I made a video before I went live on Ethereum. You can see it's just, it's ahead of my projection here. You can see it on the chart for those on YouTube at least. Hello, Mark from Malta. It's down ETH. It's red at this moment, Amal. It's also $900 higher than it was on September 25th. Buenos dias, tutti. Okay. Hello from Russia. We love crypto. Hello, Emily. Hi, DevTuber. I think I already said hi. I wasn't saying overall. Okay. All right. ETH to $1. Yeah, sure. Hello, AI Fabulous. I feel so stupid exchanging all my Ethereum into XRP on September 13th. Ooh. Yeah, I would have waited until after a new all-time high for Ethereum. Oh, my coffee. I need my coffee. Give me a second. Did you enjoy some BNB and Aster fun? For meme to a bit. What's for meme? I have a little bit of Aster. I did some longs on Binance. VeChain. What's up with VeChain? I already know I'm not going to be able to keep up with this chat. So yeah, VeChain's just hanging around. A lot of altcoins still aren't really doing much, but like we just need Ethereum on the other side of an all-time high. So let's see. Is API 3 dead? I would not say it's dead. You know, you're asking on a day that it's up 14%. I would say that there's going to be some opportunities to buy altcoins. All right, 4 is on BNB. Okay. There's still opportunities with these altcoins. That's all, you know. Now, I'm not saying that API 3 is going to hit a new all-time high. Still got some love for Epic. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, still, a lot of altcoins are just hanging around, and they'll have their time. But Epic will have its time. Doge, I have a big bag of Doge. Doge is one of the stronger ones right now. So I'm really liking Doge. So do you think XRP will drop down a floor before making new all-time high, or will it chop? I think it's going to chop, SDS. So XRP, kind of not surprising here. Looks like it's not following along this projection, unfortunately. But here's the deal with XRP. XRP will make you sweat. It'll make you nervous. And then all of a sudden, it'll go really hard. Like a lot of things, it'll feel like everything but XRP is pumping. And then XRP will go wild. So you're sweating all right. You should not be sweating. I don't think XRP is putting in a lower floor than here. I don't think it's going below where it went a couple weeks ago. All right. XYO, will it have its time? It bores you to death and then pumps out of nowhere. Same deal. Let's see. Crypto Ouija, I can tell you're excited about BNB and memes. I'm not going to keep reading your comments about that. So ASM's a good buy right now. Assemble AI. Okay, sure. I mean, chart is just kind of hanging around, waiting for, I guess, other things to happen first. Thoughts on Polygon? I'm sure the chart just is not super exciting, and it's not. But I have a little bit of Polygon, and I'm ready. I think Polygon will do something. It'll do some X's here. Dogelon Mars, no thanks. How's Bitcoin dominance looking? I am actually a little curious about Bitcoin dominance right now. I projected, oh gosh. I projected that Bitcoin dominance would go up to its 21-week EMA, but it's looking pretty weak at this moment. I mean, maybe this is just a back test of the 50 moving average, but we'll see. I think maybe it'll get up to 60, but ETH Bitcoin's looking very much in favor of Ethereum right now. So that's a good sign that that rotation might be happening. Yeah, the Bitcoin ETH chart doesn't look too bad. We'll see. VET doing nothing eventually. Oh no, Bitcoin's under $124,000. You know something, guys. I hate to break it to you, but we've been kind of duped up to this point. I'm not saying to sell all your crypto and go to stocks, but I've been just consuming a lot of alpha with stocks, and that was the play between January of 2024 and now. Maybe now it's going to be crypto, but there's so many stocks that, like, if we cared about these stocks like we care about our altcoins, we'd be doing a lot better right now. Are you looking at any other top 50 project to accumulate spot in other than VET? My bags are packed with crypto. I have my three biggest plays right now for top 50 are Dogecoin, Avalanche, and Sui. So that's what I'm riding right now. How high can Doge go, you think? So I'm selling all my Doge at 53 cents, or if it gets to a certain dollar amount where I can pay off my kids' tuition. But I think it's going to go higher than that. I don't know in particular. All right. Unfortunately, I already can't keep up with the TikTok comments. But let me look at Ondo. 94 cents. Ondo's just hanging around. False breakout, false breakdown, hanging around. I mean, I'd be pretty comfortable holding Ondo right now. Just wait for Ethereum to break an all-time high. Please don't spam, guys. You've already messed up. Don't forget about Rismus. I actually have a bigger bag of Rismus than I do everything else, but that's just this moment. Nailed it. Stock market been ripping last 3 months. Much more lucrative swings. Yeah, man. So I mean, I can't complain too much. My stock portfolio has been doing great, but I'm not for the time being. Like here's my mindset with stocks versus crypto. With altcoins, I think our window is very narrow. I do think for altcoin, I think Bitcoin's going to peak in 2027. But for altcoins, we have this narrow window where I think things are going to get very favorable for us. But with stocks, I think we have a year, maybe like 18 months before we're done, before things like dump really hard. So that's kind of, I feel I sleep better at night with my stocks. I have my plays with crypto, and I'll always be doing some plays with crypto. But like, just stocks have been much more. There's been much better returns for a lot of like the high risk ones, that the Wall Street bets kind of stocks. Did you watch Part-Time Trader's video, Riot and Neo? I did. I retweeted. He posted it on X. I retweeted it. So yeah, I have some Riot blockchain. So listen, guys. All right, here's something. Riot blockchain, that's a Bitcoin miner. A lot of these Bitcoin miners are adapting to this AI revolution, whatever you want to call it. And it may be that a lot of them go much higher than what we're thinking because of the AI component to it. And so Riot blockchain, like this guy, he has 5,000 followers on X, but I think he's brilliant. Part-time trader. Like, he's projecting Riot. It's at $20 right now. He's projecting Riot blockchain to go like $1,000. Now, I'm not saying I think that's going to happen, but like, this has kind of broadened my horizons a little bit there. You still strong on your opinion of 2026 not being bear market? SDS, you're I don't know what to say to you. at this moment. I believe that Bitcoin is peaking in 2027. I believe that those who are married to this idea that we must have a 4-year cycle, that they are going to sell their bags no matter what, a lot of their bags at the end of this year. And I think they're going to get flat-footed. But I'm pretty open-minded. I'm very open-minded on a lot of things. So still strong on that opinion. Yeah, I believe that Bitcoin and a lot of cryptos that have ETFs are going to continue to run. But I have very little confidence. If we get a big explosive move in altcoins in Q4, I have very little confidence about the altcoins after that. So Bitcoin will dump hard in 2026. Yeah, you're married to that 4-year halving cycle mind virus. You think crypto is going to tank anytime soon? No, I don't. I think so many of them are still very close to their bear market bottoms. And given the environment that we're in right now, Russell 2000, small cap stocks are breaking out. Total altcoin market cap, where's Total 2 right now? Total 2 might be beyond its all-time high. Yeah, 1.74 trillion. We're in the process of breaking out in the altcoin market cap. I know you don't feel that because a lot of you bought these junk coins that still aren't doing anything. But be patient. The time is coming. What stocks do you have high conviction on currently? A lot of gold and silver miners. A lot of conviction on those. Here's what I do. I play it a little bit safe. If there's a stock that I like, I'll buy 100 shares of that stock and then I'll sell a covered call out of the money on it. And so I'll get the premium and then the stock will pump and I'll get priced out. I'll sell my shares. I'll make some nice gains on that. But a lot of gold and silver miners, I'm very bullish on those. I've been bullish on those for a long time. AI, these AI stocks are going crazy. And so it's like, all right, nobody wants to buy the top of a bubble, but there's no use in calling the peak right now. It's just, the peak will come after 100 peak calls, So you want to mess around with some of those. Do you think Coke Inu can 5X? Sure. I already talked about Ondo. Please, what's your conservative target for ETH this year? 7,000. Drones. Give us your actual favorite small cap now. No, Norik. Hey, Norik, it's funny. You messaged me on X. I didn't see it until a week later. And you were like, I told you the market was going to dump further. Wink. And all right, you know what? Congrats on the market dumping a little bit over those 3 days. You were so right and I was so wrong. Oh man, you're the man. You're beautiful and I'm ugly. You're smart and I'm stupid. You're whatever, You're going to be president one day and I'm going to be a city council member. All right, I'm done. Nothing but love, Norik, except for that annoying message that I saw like a week after you sent it. Let's see. Let's look at Solnik, see if Ski was right. We'll see. I'm not going to look at Solnik right now. Let's see. Thoughts on Epic and potential alt. I don't know what you mean potential alt. But Epic will have its time. It's not at time yet. So why are you offended? I'm sure you're going to assume that I'm offended. You always assume stuff when I tweet different things. I'm not offended. I'm making fun of you. So, Penguin minimum. Its current price or lower. But you got to do better than that with a question like that. Pudgy penguins. I'm very bullish on Pengu. But I'm not going to give you a minimum that's like minimum. You're not going to be too excited about my minimum, But like, I think Pudgy Penguins could 10x from here. So your trying to sing video was hilarious. Thank you, Anthony. FYI, if you don't know what he's talking about, don't worry about it. That was just somebody else's sound. So that wasn't my actual voice. C-Pool partnered with Plume, and that's pumped. What's up with C-Pool? Cool. Partner. I don't really care about partnerships. You know, it's like Chainlink partnered with the United States government, and we got a little euphoric with Chainlink a few weeks ago, and I saw that euphoria, and I sold. So C-Pool partnered with Plume. The chart looks okay. I just care about the charts. I just thought something different than you, and you did nothing wrong with that, or is it? I don't know what you're asking, Norik. Norik, you messaged me gloating that you were right. That's the only thing. It was kind of annoying. That's all. Don't worry about it. We're still cool. I'm still friends with you. I comment. You know, you're saying I'm offended. I think you're being a little, you know, maybe a little self-conscious here. So let's move on. Don't worry about it. I made fun of you. I gave you my ribbing there. I'm a man. You're a man. That's what men do. Okay. So no more of that. Transparent collectibles. Thank you. Do you see much potential in VeChain? Yes, I do. I think VeChain's going to do multiple X's from here. Do you believe that Ordi will still run? Did I ever believe that Ordi was going to run? I mean, maybe in early 2024, I thought that Ordinals was going to run. Now, I mean, it's not an absolutely dead chart. And a lot of these cryptos, I don't know which ones, but a lot of them will just out of nowhere just melt your face. But good luck. It's not my play. You know, especially if I'm going to buy a dead looking chart, I'm going to buy a meme coin. I'm not going to buy a 2024 utility crypto. That's kind of the least play that I want to, last play that I want to make. So, do you think Polkadot is a sleeping giant? I think it's a sleeping something. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's a giant. You know, I commented on Polkadot a couple weeks ago when everyone was in here crying, thinking that it was over. And I said, Polkadot actually looks pretty solid right now, which was really surprising because Polkadot has a tendency of like messing the bed when things go poorly. But Polkadot's been holding up strong lately. So I think there's some X's here. I don't think Polkadot's going to hit a new all-time high. So that's a big reason why I'm hesitant. I'm not going to say it's a sleeping giant. It's a sleeping, you can make some gains, crypto. So, all right, no more thoughts on Epic. God, I don't know. I've been asked about Epic like 5 times. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm going to have to move on from that. How's Useless doing? It's actually doing all right. I have a little bit of Useless in my $200 to $1 million challenge wallet. I don't know. I like this chart. I mean, yeah, it's been moving up the last few days. Now that I'm looking at it, I might take a little off the table. But yeah, Useless is fine. So, do you think Cardano will hit a new all-time high? It's possible. Yeah. Still a good time to buy MROCs. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to really talk about it all that much, but MROCs, you know, I mentioned that in my Telegram chat. And, you know, the market tanked after I mentioned it, but like I have the same level of conviction with MROCs that I've had before. And so when the time comes, you know, other side of Ethereum all-time high, we're going to see some rotation in different altcoins and hopefully meme coins after that. So MROCs is going to be high on my list. You know, I did a complete reset in my $200 to $1 million challenge portfolio. I converted it all to USDC, but MROCs is going to be one of my first rebuys when, you know, maybe when after Rismus hopefully explodes. So how do you keep track of all the taxes you have to pay with crypto in France? Is 33% of what you make? I'm not the person to ask that, SDS. Here's my thing. I just assume, even if it's long term, mentally, I just count it as income. Whatever I make on a trade, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to have to pay income taxes on that. So anyway, Hyperliquid. What's up with Hype? $45. So the chart is not looking amazing with Hype. I would be a little bit hesitant to buy Hyperliquid right now. It's had a fantastic run, and I'm not saying it's over at all. I'm just saying like the risk, it's more of a risky play right now because it after a long time, after a major uptrend, it has now broken bullish structure. So maybe you could argue that this is an ABC correction or something like that with Hyperliquid. But man, people have made so much money on that. So Rismus holding a nice floor. When do you think we'll start moving up? I mean, we did move up from 5 million to 8. Now it's at 7 and change. I just think throughout this month and throughout November, it's going to climb in pretty aggressively. Coinbase seems pricey to buy Bitcoin. Where do you buy? Where do I buy Bitcoin? I haven't bought Bitcoin. Well, no. Listen, I haven't bought Bitcoin in a long time. I bought Bitcoin in the bear market, you know. I bought Bitcoin in 2022 and early 2023. So, where do I buy it? Where would I buy? I don't even remember where I bought it. I did make some purchases on Robinhood, but that was just kind of like whatever. I'm just gonna when I made some purchases on Robinhood, it was like peak fear moments, like very localized peak fear moments. I'm like, instead of selling, I'm gonna buy $100 worth of Bitcoin or $200 worth of Bitcoin. So usually, what I would do, now that I'm thinking through this out loud, I would probably buy it on something like Bitmart or BitUnix. The fees aren't that bad, and then I transfer it to my Trust wallet. So if you had $5,000, what would you invest in right now? Ethereum. At this moment, Ethereum. After new all-time high for Ethereum, I would split that between, I want to put some in Dogecoin right now too. Doge is looking great. So after new all-time high with Ethereum, I'd rotate into one ISO, maybe just XRP or HBAR, Avalanche. And there's lots of options, so don't take this as gospel or anything. Maybe VeChain, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe Dogecoin, or maybe it'll be too late for Dogecoin at that time. I know you sold Fetch, but does it look dead? I know the chart does not look good. I would not say dead. At least it's holding a higher floor than where it bottomed out in April. But I have no interest in Fetch AI, so definitely put that in XRP. Okay. What's MROX? It's a meme coin, but the way that they're doing things reminds me a lot of early Pengu days. So it's like super high risk, but it's been hanging around a $2 million market cap. So ride or die. Oh, hey, what's up, Bubba Disco? Thank you. I don't know what you're thanking me for. Oh, Fetch. Yeah. Tharwa. Ty called me about Tharwa. He asked me to look into it. I never responded. I never told him my thoughts on it. There's potential. I mean, it's a small cap. You're not getting. It's risk right now. It's very risky, but I bought $600 worth of Tharwa. Nothing huge. And I have a handful of really small cap cryptos that I'm comfortable holding on to, and assuming that, we get all the things, ETH hitting a new all-time high, rotation of altcoins, I could see Tharwa doing very well. Thoughts on Velo price prediction for Pengu? I don't have one. Again, I could see it 10xing, but we'll see. All right, Velodrome and Velo both look pretty dead, but again, it's the same deal. These things can rip at some point. On X, have you seen there's a person that said 2 years ago that October 6th, 2025, Bitcoin will peak? I know why. No, I have not, but I know why, and it's not scientific at all. It's essentially like, hey, Bitcoin peaked this many days from the halving in 2021. So this time around, it's going to peak same amount of days from the halving in 2024. I'm not even going to give that an ounce of consideration. Congratulations. Okay, Bitcoin hit an all-time high, broke $126,000 yesterday. So what? Does that mean that this person's going to be Nostradamus or something like that? No. Get out of here. So sell fetch for Pepe or HEEHEE. Pepe would probably run first, but HEEHEE will give you more X's. Ty golfing with Calvin right now? Okay. Do you think we broke out of the 4-year cycle and alt season is delayed? Oh, man. Jewel, thank you for the follow, by the way. I have been a skeptic of the 4-year cycle for years. So right now, I'm just taking it stride by stride. I could see, given where Bitcoin dominance is right now, that the fourth quarter for altcoins would be a great quarter. First, we need Ethereum to break out, hit a new all-time high. But the pieces are in place right now. But that even if that happens, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, 4-year cycle, it's still on. So algo all-time high? No. I haven't been thinking that for quite a while. All right, bonk. Yeah, I think the cycle's done too. Okay. Bonk, what about it? It at least broke a downtrend. Now it's trying to hold the 200-day moving average. Man, I'm so scared. Bitcoin's at 123,000. 123,175 actually. I'm surprised none of you. Congrats to all of you. All right. Nobody's sitting here panicking, being like, why are we dumping? Is it over? So you're all awesome today. Thoughts on the Tau chart. Wait, institutional money is in American government, and many governments getting in. It's not retail. That's always how it starts out. All right, thoughts on Tau chart. Let's see. Clearly hit some resistance here with Tau. So now what? Maybe got rejected there. Maybe it's going to head down. I wish I saw that. I probably would have opened a short. Maybe go down to 325 for Tau. I can do that if you want. I'm sure somebody's thinking it. I think Bitcoin will go to 111K and then rocket. 111. That seems low. I would not think 111. What I want to do is I want to look at the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart real quick. If the daily chart's gonna, yeah, okay. Bollinger's on the daily. Let's see Bollinger's. We can go down a decent amount lower and still be I'm thinking like middle Bollinger Band. That's around 114, but give it a few days, that would probably rise to 116, 117. That would be my thought. Oh wait, middle Bollinger, is that 114 or 117? I got too many things. It actually might be 116. So I have been warning about all right, we had a bearish divergence on the 4-hour chart play itself out. And we've been scorching hot lately on the RSI. So I think that we are due for something. The only reason why I would hesitate to say that we're not gonna have a correction is just the nature of October. So, but yeah, it makes sense to me that we'd be a little red today. Can Doge give a 5x from here? I don't think so. We're talking about a top 10 crypto in market cap. So what's up, Amir? I see you. Let's take a look at Quant. Somebody asked about Quant. 102.54, just hanging around. Now, I already mentioned Quant. I called for it to go to $88. I gave two different projections, let me be honest. One of them was $88. It went to 86, 86 and change. So then it's bounced from there. So now, you know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Quant put in a higher low from here. 99.77 might be a really good entry. It's at 102.54 right now. So, hello, Marcelo Dawood. Thanks for the follow. 130 incoming very soon. I think Bitcoin's going to hit 130 this month. Yeah, I mean, that's not a stretch. We got to 126 yesterday. So, Solana, what about Solana? 225. Yeah, Solana, you know, I'm not worried at all about Solana. There is some potential that, you know, it might have hit a lower high. And so where do we go from here? Excuse me. I converted all my Solana to USDC in my $200 to $1 million challenge wallet last week. So where do we reload on Solana? Maybe the 786. That's 205, 206. Something like that. I might switch back to Solana at that time. What's a decent portfolio looking to do? 2 to 3x? I don't know. Hello, Jamie. Listen, you can certainly make more than 2 to 3x if what happens, what I think is going to happen, happens. With Ethereum breaking new all-time high, altcoins doing very well. So the question is, you know, will you walk away with the 2 to 3x? Maybe you could do a 5x. Maybe you could do a 10x. Maybe you'll get this meme coin that does a 1000x. I don't know, but yeah. All right, Foregone is in the house. Everybody, Foregone. He gave me a super chat, so I'm gonna answer his question. Thank you, Foregone. Uniswap, $8.06. Do I want to say $7.83? You gave me some crap last time I said $7.83. So you want to, but where do we go? I don't think we're putting in a lower low on Uniswap. So maybe a wick below the 200-day moving average. How about 765? 765. I'm sure you have some follow-up question. How about you ask it in the live stream chat on TikTok, and I'll try to answer you. Do you think Pendle is a good coin? Seeing it a lot on this app. People are talking about Pendle. Wow. I've always thought that Pendle, like I was the only one who talked about Pendle. I love Pendle. Do I love it right now? Let's see. It's holding up better than a lot of other cryptos. I'm not going to say I love it right now, but I think I have some Pendle in my Coinbase wallet. I have not opened my Coinbase wallet, I don't think, in over a year. So just so you know how confident I am about Pendle. 40 to 50%. Oh, where's Bitcoin dominance going to drop to? Yeah, I think under 50%, but I don't think lower 40s. So somebody asked where I think Bitcoin dominance is going to go. I've already given a projection of like hitting the 21-week EMA. That's at like 60.5%. We'll see. I mean, the last couple of days, it's looked a little weak. So we shall see. So you think Bitcoin will push higher? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thoughts on Sui? I have a big bag of Sui. Holding on. You know, I'm not holding it for even a 3x, honestly. Is it a good time to sell and get some profits? You know, if you bought a couple weeks ago when I pointed out all those bullish divergences, you want to sell some right now? Sure. I'm fine holding. I'm not selling anything today. Where can we reload on Pengu? Pengu. I don't know. It's holding up pretty well. Maybe bottom of the golden pocket. That's 30.45 cents. 30.45 cents. I'm going to say that. All right, let's see. Beppe, should we risk it? Not yet. Why is BCB so quiet now? I'm not worried about BCB. He's been phenomenal. So he sold half his portfolio. Maybe he'll be right. Maybe he'll be wrong. I think he's wrong. I'm in an odd position with him. There have been times where I've disagreed with him and he's been proven right. And then there's been times that I've disagreed with him and I've been right. But right now, I am like very comfortably disagreeing with him. I've never I've never been in a position like that. Linnea. I can't find a chart that's older than 3 weeks. I thought this was an older crypto. I've got nothing on Linnea. I'm sorry. Who is BCB? Blockchain backer. I talk about him a ton. He's my favorite person that I'll go to just to get some perspective on things. Thoughts on Doge? You see it reaching all-time high. I talk about Doge a lot. I could see it hitting an all-time high. I'm selling around 53 cents though. Aaron, thanks for the follow. I don't have any dislike towards him. I love listening to him. Yeah. How do you feel about Injective? Still, guys, you're asking how I feel about these things. Listen, I'm fine with Injective. I'm still of a mindset like a lot of these altcoin charts. They're not really doing much, and I don't think they're going to do all that much until Ethereum breaks an all-time high and gets into price discovery. So, how many X on say? I'm not your guy for X's, man. It's the same thing. How many X's on such and such cryptocurrency? How about a 2X? How about a 3X? I don't know. Could it go higher than that? Sure. All-time high is more than a 3X from here. So how about breaking an all-time high, 4X? I really don't know. Market is crashing right now. Oh, there we go. Guys, the market is crashing. Yeah, it's over, man. It's over. What is happening? I don't know, man. We've been scorching hot nonstop for a week and a half. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe this crash is just healthy profit taking. Sell everything. Guys, man, it's funny. Before Anita Sharma came in here, I was giving everybody props for not crying about the market crashing, and then you come in here. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to roast you for a second here. And I'm done, I guess. All right, somebody has asked me about Cubic. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard with charts that look like cubics. It was way higher in 2024 because some people actually still believed in crypto at that time. And now, sure, the chart looks okay. It could, even if it did a retrace, even a small retrace, it would pump really multiple X's. You want to take a stab at that? That's not my thing. I'm not messing around with this. The entire market could blow off like crazy and Cubic could just leave you behind. Cello started October good. Yeah, it started out well. Now, if I had been paying attention, I probably would have opened a short on Cello. Maybe short it until it gets down to its 200-day moving average. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I will. Do you think top 20 altcoins will hit all-time highs? So 6 of them already have, Freddie. Now, other ones, I mean, like Dogecoin, I could see Dogecoin hitting a new all-time high. It's a case-by-case basis. I'm like kind of 50-50 with Cardano. I would say less likely for Avalanche, even though I have a good bag of Avalanche. What else is even in the top 20? Hyperliquid doesn't count because it's a new crypto. So, your question is like already a lot of them have. When do you see Ethereum going into price discovery? Probably maybe next week. I'm freaking out. Mandy, what's a good entry for Solana now? I already looked at it, 207. I'm not crying. Okay. I'm done roasting you, Anita. I was going to start rotating when ETH gets to 5K. You think that's too early? Maybe like a little bit too early, but sure. I want to rotate. I mean, it's not like even. So listen, no, actually, I don't think it's too early. And the reason why is because from here, a lot of altcoins are going to outperform Ethereum. So we're really just kind of dancing a little bit if we're going to sell at $5,000. But I think that's a good time to do it. How are we feeling about Jasmine? It's another one that just is hanging around, man. You know, not really doing much, boring you to death. And at some point, you know, let's break this downtrend. I don't think I think soon. Actually, yeah, I think really soon. I don't think Jasmine is going to lose support at 0.01228. It was close a few weeks ago, but if so, it would be a short-term thing like what we saw on June 21st. So Jasmine, good risk to reward at this moment. If you had a big bag of quant, where would you start exiting? I don't have an answer for you. Maybe around 200. Not probably lower than that, but you know, maybe that's disappointing. I don't know. You're welcome, Lion King. Target for Total 3. I don't have any targets for Total 3 or others. I mean, I could look at Total 3 right now and give you a retrace. You know, how about 3.618? Nah. That's probably too high. Somewhere between 2.618 and 3.618. So 2.618 is 2.5 trillion. 3.618 is 3.35 trillion. That's more than double Total 3. But I mean, Total 3 includes Binance. I don't think Binance would more than double from here. XRP would more than double from here, I think. So there's multiple altcoins that can still do pretty well. Doesn't Total 3 include stable coins? Does it? You know, it's funny. I don't know if I've ever known the answer to that question. I've assumed that it doesn't. But if it does, fantastic. You know, it might. Now that I think about it, it might, because I'm assuming total includes stable coins. Good morning, Ponky. Thank you, Fireball, for the follow. Thanks, Alex. Got in with ETH at a 2,200 average. Awesome, man. You did well. All right, LCX. Let me look at LCX. I already have an idea. Yep. It's the same thing. LCX is just going to continue to all right, it's put in a higher low. Now it looks kind of flat, but it's going to continue to bleed. It's not going to do anything. And then one day out of nowhere, it'll go crazy. Good morning, Ponky. What do you think about Bonk? I already looked at Bonk. I mean, it might be holding a floor right now, 200-day moving average. I'm just not super high on meme coins right now, but there's going to be a time. So, all right, let me look at Seller. Let me find a good chart. Oh, God. Come on. Seller. I've got nothing for you with Seller. Another one. Will there be a time when Seller goes crazy? Sure. Let's do it. But it could be a while. Or it could be tomorrow. It's just... If I was looking at, if this was a stock, I'd be like, no, thank you. You know, with another one that I'm just like, I'm sure the chart just looks kind of boring and blah. So yeah, but it'll have its time. When time comes, please notify me with your favorite small cap. Sure. Yeah, I have zero favorite small caps right now. I have some that I hold a little bit of, but Cello, already looked at it. I'd be shorting Cello right now, but it'll do fine at some point. Christman Compound, thanks for the follow. LF, thanks for the follow. Do you see another big dump before higher in altcoins? Not a big dump, no. You know, like today's correction, we go a little lower. Yeah. I mean, it's been 2 weeks of up only pretty much, but I'm not. So like Ethereum, let me give Ethereum as an example. Where would we go with Ethereum? There was a moment we broke the all-time high, went up to 4,950 or something like that. And then from there we went down to 3,800. I would not say anywhere near 3,800 for Ethereum. Not even close. I would say more like from here, 46 something, maybe 45, 44, maybe. So, Aleo. What's Aleo? Okay, yeah. If I could short this, I would. So you're asking about a crypto that pumped super hard. How many X's did it do? Actually, you know what? All right, it's not crazy. It doubled. It doubled in a week. You know, at some point, I'm sure this will pump really hard. But I'm still of the mindset, especially with cryptos like this that I've never heard of, that a mindset to be skeptical of any pump. So do you think everything will be over by the end of 2025? No. Plume. Bought some when I was bored a few days ago. All right. Dan B, thanks for the follow. Plume, they partnered with somebody, right? So we should be really excited about Plume. And I'm not excited about it looking at the chart, but let me look at a different chart. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's too new, honestly. And there's nothing screaming buy with this. It looks okay. It's found its floor. It's probably not going to go lower than that floor, but not in love with it. WLFI, Laura. I'm not paying attention at all to WLFI or Trump coin. So I've got nothing for you. I just, yeah. When do you think XRP will move? Unfortunately, here's my thoughts on XRP. I think XRP will move. I think Ethereum will hit a new all-time high, break into price discovery. Some altcoins will start getting really hot, and then XRP will be like choppy, not really doing much. And then people are going to get really frustrated, and maybe they'll sell their XRP for something else, and then XRP will rip. So something like that. You think XRP has anything else? Yes. Sharwa is being shilled hard. What do you think? I looked into it. I like it. So Bitcoin 169. Maybe. I don't think so for 2025. And I think well beyond that for later 2027. Ski says AVAX 180 thoughts. He's always a little bit higher than I am with my projections. So I would love it. I have a bag of Avalanche. That's a new all-time high, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a 1.618 retrace in market cap. Actually, no, that wouldn't be. It could get to 180. I just don't. I don't think so. It's my biggest bet. I'm in it for like $100, you know. So wow, 5,900. Why are we dumping? Because it's over, man. SM26, I'm sorry to tell you it's over. Nah, I'm being sarcastic. We're dumping. Why did we pump nonstop for the last week? You know, it's like there's no explicit reason why we're dumping aside from the fact that we're profit taking, you know? What's your biggest holding and how much? It's always going to be Bitcoin, but I'm not going to disclose that. After that, it's Rismus. It's Rismus for the time being. So Double G Entertainment, thanks for the follow. Could you have a look at Shiba on base? Oh wait, would you sell Aurora? I still have a bag. I don't know what to do. I'd hold on to it. I mean, I would have sold it a long time ago, but like for now, yeah, it's bottomed out. I just hold on and pray. So Shiba on base. Shiba on base. I don't even know why I'm. Shiba Armstrong, $377,000 market cap. Nah, I got nothing. Santa Pepe, no. How long are you holding Rismus? Probably till the end of November. Arrow hitting $2 in October. All right, you got some big bags there, Chris. All right, $2 for Arrow in October. No. Nah. Hello, friends. I'm new here. Can I make a new friend, please? Everyone make friends with Lewis W. Jackson. 4 million market cap. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not. All right, all right. I just. Blue Shiba. 3.5 million. All right, so pumped really hard. Now it's finding a floor. Should pump hard later. I'm not going to look any more at it. I'm sorry. Too many MSTR calls. You better be careful with MicroStrategy, man. Here's the problem with MicroStrategy. It always peaks way earlier. MicroStrategy probably peaked already. Yeah, I don't think from here MicroStrategy is putting in a new all-time high. Be very honestly, like I'd just close those. I mean, all right. I don't want to say another word. I don't want to give advice, which it's not financial advice, and be wrong. But I think MicroStrategy has peaked for this cycle. And for the most part, it's just going to kind of grind down from here, even with Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high. The MicroStrategy and Bitcoin miners, I mean, look at the Bitcoin miners. All of a sudden, they're scorching hot, like Riot Blockchain and Marathon. But like the Bitcoin miners peaked for this cycle at $30, you know, and when Bitcoin was at 53,000. So now they're playing catch up. All right, Chris. VET or ETH for short-term, ETH for short-term, VET for after that. Just bought more SOL. Okay. Do you think Arrow can hit $2 this year? Yeah. Yeah. MicroStrategy is basically Bitcoin, except it's not. I know, yeah, it's going to generally move in the direction of Bitcoin, but MicroStrategy peaked on November 22nd, November 21st of 2024. And it hasn't gone higher since then. Where was Bitcoin in November of 2024? It was under $100,000. So Bitcoin hit a new all-time high yesterday. MicroStrategy's peak was $542. Yesterday, MicroStrategy got up to $364. What do y'all think about the cryptocurrency market system? Just curious. Are you AI, Lewis Jackson? Is there an AI in this chat? Do you think Solana will break its all-time high? Yeah. I'm not expecting anything massive from here for Solana, but BMNR, man, what is that? What's up with that? Kind of crazy chart. So, I mean, it looks bullish. I mean, it just exploded one day, and now looks like it's coiling. The MNAV reduced. Fair. All right, VRA dead. I'm sure VRA will do something at some point. I have zero interest in it. Haha, IA. Did I say IA? They've purchased more Bitcoin, and MNAV will get back to 2 to 3x. Oh, okay. BMNR is Tom Lee. All right, copying ETH, copying Sailor versus ETH. I know who Tom Lee is. I haven't like looked into him super all that much. All right, Mina. I have not looked at Mina. The chart looks terrible. But again, same deal. Could always at some point just go whoosh. All right, I'm almost done, guys. I got some stuff to do today. So, been waiting for this pullback. Yeah, seriously, man. How far will XRP retrace? If you're talking about how low will it go, I don't think below 276. Near protocol looking juicy. I like Near structurally right now. Yeah. I'd have no problem buying some spot near right at this moment. So thank you for that heart. Doge, please. I already talked about Doge a ton. Again, I have a big bag of Doge. I'm selling it at 53 cents. That was bear market accumulation. I've just been sitting here patiently waiting for it to get there. Will it go higher? I could certainly see Doge going higher than that. Targets for Jasmy or WorldCoin in Q4. I don't know. Jasmy cycle peak, or sorry, 11 and a half cents at the cycle peak. I don't know when. WorldCoin, not huge on WorldCoin. Let's see. I don't even think a new all-time high. No, not. I would not expect a new all-time high for WorldCoin. Good price point to get an avalanche. Maybe soon, honestly. Well, shoot. You know what I'll say? I'll say $26.27. What would make you turn bearish? Very little right now. I mean, just things in the chart, you know, structural breakdowns with different cryptocurrencies. Mainly Bitcoin and Ethereum, which we're nowhere near that right now. What's driving the selling momentum at the moment? We went up only for 2 weeks. That's what's driving it. Can't go up only forever. Jasmine, 11 and a half cents. Do you think Mystic Runes will do something? What's Mystic Runes? Bitcoin and ETH outlook short term. ETH new all-time high price discovery this month. Bitcoin over 130 this month. I don't see Mystic Runes. Oh, wait, maybe. What is that? I don't know what to make of if this is what it is. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to have to pass on it. I'm sorry. All right, guys. I'm going to be done. Sorry. Thank you, Jamie, for the heart. I'll see you next time.